Bitcoin is going to zero.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Great to have you guys in here. Let me turn on my volume since I got my a little low on volume. Let me try to fix that. Of course, I needed to do that right before the show. But welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. Today is going to be my very first setup class. So let's go and take a look at the charts. It's going to be a little bit of a quick one. So make sure that you send me any and all of the tokens that you're looking at. So let me just fix the mic. Seems like all right. There it is. It was at 35%. So let's get it. All right. So finally, it is up and running. Thank you guys so much. Oh, volume. Thank you. Let's get it. All right. So I think I just pushed it all the way to 100 once again. And should be up and running. All right. So I'm a little sick today. So I got the flu. So I don't know what happened, but I do know what happened. Too much margaritas in the sun. All right. Other than that, guys, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Let's get started with you guys because you guys are the most important part of the setup. And let's get it. JC, how's it going, my friend? Welcome. The record DGT, how's it going, bro? Welcome. Great to have you here. Looking for crypto. How's it going, my friend? Olga Ivanova, welcome. Great to have you. Long time no see. Great to have you guys. And it seems like that is it for right now. If you guys want me to let me know what are you trading, what are you looking at, I'll be more than happy to chart it, and let's see if we can enter some trades. Let's get started and let's go to the charts. All right, and as always, there it is. All right, that was a quick fix. All right, so really quickly, let's keep track on what we were doing, where we left out on Bitcoin, and most importantly, what is it up? What is going to be the next trade? Remember, we're talking about this movement here. Let's go to the daily, and sorry, on the 4 hour. Come on, what am I doing? And then on the 4 hour, remember that we shorted all the way from here. Remember that? So that was a pretty damn great setup, and then I longed it all the way back down here, and then we shorted and long at the end. We'll take a look at that in a second. That was two stops out. I mean, one stop out and one taking profit and stop out. So that was a pretty good one. Let me see if I have right here my latest trade. I don't know why it's not around here, but I guarantee I got it on somewhere around here. Oh yeah, I got it. I prepared it. All right, so this was the last time that I had this trade. So let's go take a look at that. Entry 97,047. So 97,047, 97. There it is, somewhere around here, as you can see, right at the tippy top. Look at that breakout, right? And then we took some profits at 88,141, 88. One, come on, where are you? 141. Well, whatever, 200, 190 something. There you go, somewhere around here. So that was the trade, the short that we were into right here. And then I decided to have some fun as we were moving downward. I was looking at the 15 minutes and the 5 minutes, and this was the next trade I took. So I took a short right at this candle, right, coming down all the way down here, flip of the ribbon, starting to move up. I took that profit, all right, and then set my stop to entry, and that got a stopped out. So half of that trade was taken. That was a pretty good one still. And finally, I was looking for a long ride in here. So I don't have it in here, but I was looking for this long. And guess what? It stopped me out right there because I was using the stop loss as a triggering point. So far, do not enter for that long. It's already canceled, invalidated. We're going to be waiting a little bit more, and that is to wait for the flip of the ribbon. We're not doing that bad. I mean, we have a short here, a sell signal, then coming back up, and then we'll see how that goes, because if we get this, we could be making a break of structure long, right? We'll see how that goes. But so far, let's go back into the 4 hours and take a look at what is the next step, because oh man, this range, it's been there for freaking ever, and it's just busting my emotions. All right, so far so good. If we zoom out a little bit, all right, we have a lot of a mess, but let's keep track on what's important. Let me just get rid. Oh, don't move that. Get rid of that trade that we took. Let's go over this and remove it. There it is. This was the next trade that we took, so let's go and get rid of that, and we're just gonna be rinsing and repeating all over again. All right, so let me see. Perfect. All right, so far so good. So we have a sell out signal. All right, we're breaking through the dynamic reactor with a big body candle. That's not good. It's not about the breakout, it's about the retest, and that's what I was looking for into the 15 minutes, into the 5 minutes, for another bounce all the way to the dynamic reactor to then reject and hit my target somewhere around 85,453. All right, so what's up right here with this? All right, so remember, we were keeping track on what could have been happening, and then we thought we made it all the way up here, and finally we closed back inside. So that means one of two things. If I do this, all right, you'll see that we have the high, the low, the next high, and finally, oh, it wasn't like that. It was daily. Let's get to daily. I mean, this will also work like this. And well, we are looking at this next low, right? So let me Ctrl-C that, and let's move this out of the way. So basically looking at, and let me place it like that, there it is, at this low being this low. So if for some miracle, guys, so for some miracle, and let me make clear, let me make very, very clear that this is hopium, all right? Hopium inside the analysis, because the chances for this to happen at this point, based on this high, they are very, very, very low, all right? So if for some miracle we're able to break above the dynamic reactor right here, if we break above it, all right, your retest is going to be back into the dynamic reactor, and then we're going to be looking for a continuation. Let me signalize that. So if we do this, all right, then there's going to be your retest, and then we're going to go for something like that into a very dramatic long. So basically something like that, way inside those boxes that we have drawn in there, all right? But guys, once again, please don't take this as the main analysis, all right? Remember, this is just the last piece of the puzzle, which right now the chances for this to happen, they are negligent. I mean, they're very, very, very low, all right? But our entries right here is going to be at the retest right there for long. Remember that this can be just a little shy, and then also a little shy up, so basically a little bit of a range, all right? So bear that in mind in here. What is the most probable scenario? The most probable scenario, it's going to be a rejection out of the dynamic reactor, and then going for a classic Wyckoff, right? So let me just get rid of this. Let me actually hide this, because it's just a little bit way too big. So let's hide that. All right, perfect. And then let's go visit Wyckoff Binance. Let me make sure that I'm not revealing my credentials. Oh, and I was. All right, that was not the way to go. Come on, what's going on with Binance today? All right, finally. All right, perfect. All right, here it is. And let's go all the way down here, all right? And this is the next piece of the puzzle. So I'm not saying that this is going to play it out, but this is the next thing we're going to be looking for, all right? counting that we are hunting quote unquote, all right, for a long position. Because remember, I don't think I mean, let me just get this out of the way. Let's go for lock it, hide it. Because remember, this up next, it is the most possible scenario. Rejection on the dynamic reactor and then coming back down to our next support. All right. If we compare that to a classical Wyckoff bottoming pattern, well, then we are going to be looking for a possible spring still. All right. So again, the chances for this one to play it out are slightly better than the previous picture, but not too much of a better look. All right. It has a much better chance for this to play it out than the previous one, but still, this one is still low on probabilities. All right. Nonetheless, we could still, if this thing does like this, all right, which is number A, plan A, which I actually believe what it's going to happen. All right. If that does that, remember, we can still long this bottom and sell this top. All right. So again, we're going to be looking for a short entry right up in here. All right. And then a continuation all the way down here. We're going to be taking 50% out and then waiting it for it to bounce up. Right. So this bounce up. All right. This bounce up. So let me just grab it from here and do something like that. Right. So now we're tracking. Right. So I think this is much better. So bounce up and then a continuation lower. So far, guys, I want you guys to be prepared, because when Bitcoin start moving downwards, it's going to be making it very, 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 very fast. All right, so let's go and take a look at a couple of all this stuff. Let me actually hide this. And of course, let's get rid of that. Let me see if I can remove it. All right, perfect. All right, got it. And we're going to be tracking the flip of the ribbon, of course. And most likely it's going to happen there. All right, let's get it. Let me read you guys. We have Gerlu. What's up? Ger, how's it going, my friend? Welcome. Overcome, welcome. Great to have you, brother. Great to have you. Can you take a look at Solana, please? Absolutely. Let's take a look at Solana. Let's get it. Okay, I was talking about Solana today, hackers, and that has to do with assumption that we are going to the bear market. All right, so if we're going to the bear market and you want self custody of your coins, all right, and I'm talking about crypto coins and especially Bitcoin and whatever other good coin you have, right? But in between those coins, you also need some gas. So what is gas? Gas is basically what makes everything run. Just in case you didn't know, whenever you have your self-custody, whenever you're using like a wallet such as MetaMask, Exodus, or a cold wallet such as Treasure Ledger, all right, you need to own a little bit of Solana, right, to send and receive throughout the Solana chain, even if you're not sending nor receiving Solana. All right. For example, if you want to send and receive, I don't know, USDT to your cold storage, and you want the cheapest network, you will need, well, so far I believe the cheapest network is holy shit, it was it was an Osmos. Only do you remember what was the cheapest network that we just sent money through on crypto? Polygon, POS. Perfect. Yeah, so it was Polygon. All right, so right now I believe the cheapest network is Polygon. So in order for you to send and receive, I don't know, USDT, all right, or USDC throughout the Polygon network, you need some Polygon. All right, so just in case you didn't know that, you are warned. So Polygon, BNB, Solana, what else? What is the other one? Tron. right? Ethereum, all right? We want a little bit of those blue chips, not to buy at the extremely best price. I mean, that would be fantastic. Not to hold. It's not a major purchase to hold and sit and leave it there, but buy it as a utilitarian token. Right? So if you don't have it, it would be a good idea just to buy a little bit. I don't know. I usually do like $100 per coin, but that's me, right? I mean, you can do, I think 25. That'll be more than enough. $25 per coin. Like, so it's 50, 100, 125 bucks that you will be spending on those 5 blue chips. So let's go take a look at where it could be a good short-term opportunity to get some for that. So let's go to Solana after all of this blah blah blah. And Solana, remember that we were tracking and we were into short all the way down here, right? We were looking for this short. We took out and then start moving downwards, all right? But whatever, it is what it is. It was a pretty good one while it lasted. We have a big body candle going through your trend line. That's pretty fantastic. And then at the breakout retest, we have our confirmation. So what is up next? In fact, we already got it, right? So we were looking at the flip of the ribbon at some support. Seems like we are quite a little bit behind, but still wants to make a push towards this area. So let's go for something else in here. Instead of looking at the 4 hour, let's go to 30 minutes. All right, that will give us more candles. And it actually didn't give me what I was looking for here. I was looking for a different structure. In fact, now that I see it, it's not good. All right, it's just not good. Why? Because look at this pivot. It goes all the way down. So the next support will be, dude, all the way there. Important, we have a bullish or a buy up. All right, and we are above the zero line. We have green momentum, or green, not momentum, sorry, money flow, which adds to the momentum. So far, just because of that, I'm going to be waiting for a possible push to the upside. This is looking like a maybe bull flag. I'm not going to be buying this, all right? I'm not going to be trading this, not at all. I mean, not a chance. Why not? If this is a bull flag, well then, because we are below dynamic reactor. This is not a clean and clear flag. So if I'm in doubt, or if I don't have like the best setup, the AAA setup, I'm just not doing it. At least not right now that we just got a pretty fancy short, right? So we're better off, remember, thinking that we are in the bear market right now, right? That we have confirmation also, and we need to move with cautions, both through longing and shorting it. So remember, it's about preserving your capital. So let's go to the 4 hours once again. And I really thought that I would be catching some trend line like this, right? Some trend line like that or something like that. It's not there yet, so nothing to do. At this point, we're going to be trading this as a range. So if it hits this low point, let me add an alert. So let's lock it and add an alert. I'm going to be looking for a long if and only if I'm above the dynamic reactor. I mean the zero line, all right? If I'm below the zero line, I'm not taking longs in there. I mean, if anything, I'm going to be looking for a short continuation there, all right? So, capiche. Let's get it. Even if there's a BOS on Solana, I don't know, man. That's a good question. 4 hours, I don't think so. 30 minutes could be. But the point with BOS and Solana, and let me take a look at it, because what I'm seeing in here is that we have, well, this box in here. Let's manually make it, right? So just like Alex's pink box, let's do ours. It's purple because we play with it much more. All right, so we have the purple box in there, right? And remember, it's not something new. That's why both we have a what is it? A alert, and we had a circle there. So let me go for right and lock it. Let's actually add. Yeah, create that thing and let's lock it. Perfect. If we got a break of structure in here, oh, man, you're gonna be right there on the resistance. You see that? I mean, it would be, it could break out and then reach in a continuation. This would have been a much better structure. Or you know what? If I get a breakout rejection and I take this high, right? That would be my entry point. So, hey, Kelly, welcome. Kelly friend in the house. Welcome, my friend. Thank you. One Way in the house. How's it going, One Way? Great to have you guys. Really appreciate you. So, really quick, remember to hit that like button. It really helps with the algorithm. All right. Oh, we have two top. We have two top. Oh, no, we have week 589. Welcome. Hey, what's up? All right. Yeah, we have week 589. Welcome, my friend. Great to have you. I skip you there, man. I'm sorry. Very sorry. Hello, hello. Hey, welcome. Star J Skull. What's up? Welcome. Hey, how's it going, my friend? All right. So, a long story short, if I'm taking a BOS trade, not really because we're very, very, very close to the resistance, but I will be making a long if we bounce off the top, back to the bottom, and then all the way up. Yeah. All right, let's take a look at a couple of things like Ethereum. Ethereum is basically the same, but it now start to look way better. So we have a box in here talking about this low and these two highs, these three highs. All right, this one's in here, and well, the only issue is that we have something just like the bull flag. All right, and we're above that zero line. If we're able to do this, man, I believe this is something that I will be kind of like going for a breakout structure. Why we have dynamic reactor up in here, and we have a resistance right there, and that is because we're above that zero line. Not only that, we might be pushing through. So remember, on a breakout, we want both the price action to break through with strength and go through the zero line. If we get those two, most likely the movement is going to be strong. The movement, it's going to be strong. All right. So I already have broke through. All right. I did not make it through here. But if I'm able to push through this one while I have a flip of the ribbon and movement to the upside, that is also going to be a pretty fantastic. Let me see if we got it right there. A pretty fantastic movement. Let me see if I got the same. We don't. Like coming from the bottom, we don't. But that most likely is going to be a very strong movement. Nevertheless, I really have way lower Ethereum than that Solana, so I wouldn't mind. And that most likely is going to be not long, but a spot entry just to send to my wallet. All right. Other than that, let's go take a look at the BNB. So let's check out BNB. So perfect. We are at the top. We're expecting this movement to break out at the top. All right. So we're hitting that top, and what we need for at this point, it is that flip of the ribbon to the upside. All right. So are we gonna be looking for that long? Not really, because the dynamic reactor is way too far away. So the big body candle is gonna be to the dynamic reactor, and most likely, in this case, I'm gonna be looking for a short, and then if I'm lucky enough, all right, a long from here, right? But you'll see that we're talking right now a lot about longs, and that is because we are above that zero line, but things can change very fast. So keep an eye on your oscillator. If we're below that zero line, we're back at shorting the thing. All right. So just saying. Let's get it. Let's take a look at here at XRP. And, oh man, I really don't feel good. The flu, it's killing me. And this one looks way better XRP. All right. So look at that. We have a breakout. In fact, the same pattern that was looking on Bitcoin today in the morning. Right. Remember, you hackers, we went for that, right? For that long, we got stopped out, but let's go for that on XRP. Let's move our stop slightly below like that. And we are front running. This could be a mistake. So we're going to be making half of an entry. All right. Hey, T-Top in the house. How is it going? Welcome. Great to have you. All right, guys. So be extremely careful. This is danger. Danger Will Robinson trade. All right. So keep in mind that this is half of an entry. All right. Something like I'm going to go for between 3 and 5x. Not much. Not much. All right. And that is because we have a peak seeker here. What I'm counting on is having something. Let me see. So we're having kind of like a triangle. All right. So like that. What I'm counting on is that flip of the ribbon. Right. That makes a little bit of a high. Maybe not as big of a high as this one in here. All right. But then makes it to our next resistance zone at 2.02. So, Lady Fire, how's it going? Welcome. Great to have you. All right. So, long on XRP. Remember, half of an entry. And remember, I'm going to be taking it at the end of the class. So, my entry is going to be slightly lower. Let's bring up the rest of my indicator. Let me see if I have anything that it will make me regret. And the only thing that I'm kind of like regretting, oh no, we have a high order block. We have there we go. We have an area of ranging, maybe just a little bit lower. So what I'm gonna go for is extending. All right, this is the extending my stop loss in here, and I'm gonna try to enter a little bit lower here, so something around that area. So good thing that we went for this. I mean, what I'm trying to hunt is the center of that order block. We might have it, and the thing is just moving now. All right, so what is it? What are we gonna be doing? All right, bullish, trending. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. All right. Anyway, it's half of a position. We're gonna be looking for a flip of the ribbon. If that flip of the ribbon happened after, I'm gonna add that to my another half of a position. All right. So for now, that's gonna be it, guys. I need to go rest today. It's really the flu's kind of like a kicking in today. Other than that, stay safe. Use a stop loss. Remember, I'm gonna be trading this or opening my position on bluffing right away. So let's keep track on how it plays out. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for joining. And as always, see you guys tomorrow.
Bitcoin is going to zero. Zero.